Alright, I got a bunch of parts in for the M3. We're gonna go ahead and put those parts on the car right now. The goal is I'm trying to get the car ready for autocross on the 22nd and the 23rd of August. Today is the 9th of August, so I don't have much time to get it ready because I have to replace the full suspension, do a full tune-up on the engine, replace all the front drive components, and any other possible thing I can get ready to make it as foolproof as possible in autocross. The goal is I'm going to get my dad to drive the M3, and I'm going to drive the Mustang, and we're going to compete head-to-head. I don't know if there's going to be much competition. He's never done autocross before. And honestly, I don't know how the BMW is going to perform. I think it's going to perform better than Mustang because of some of the parts I have coming for it, and it's a short wheelbase, lighter car, so it might do better. But there's only one way to find out, and the only way we can find out is to get started on this. So let's go ahead and get started with our first cosmetic mod. We're going to go ahead and replace these crusty headlights. Now, you might be asking, why not just restore the lenses, like I've done in the past on a few cars? Well, the reason for that is quite simple. If you look inside the headlight, you can see that the inside, if you look closely, is white on all the black plastic, which either means it's faded, paint's come off, I'm not entirely sure. And this is pretty pitted, and it's just not going to look 100% trying to restore it. It just saved me a lot of time to just go ahead and buy me a new set, and I can just pop them right in. And honestly, a full set off Rock Auto was only 80 bucks. Now, will they last? I don't know, but they seem to be pretty decent quality. It appears that there's going to be 3 bolts up here on top, 1 down there. Pull the bulbs out of the back, and it looks like this headlight's just going to slide right out. Small sip. It also appears that I have a rat in the car somewhere because it's eating up my insulation and shoving it down there. So we might have to do some extermination in this video as well. We're just going to go ahead and pop out these top 3 bolts. They're all 8mm. So I didn't watch a video for this, probably should have. Here's these top things, they're adjustment points. Probably supposed to hold those with some pliers or something to get these bolts out of them, but I'm not doing that. And I'm gonna have to. What the heck? What did I just do on my wrench? Is this the right tool for the job? Absolutely not. Am I gonna use it anyway? Absolutely. We're gonna throw these bolts somewhere safe. Now that we got that taken care of, we need a longer extension. Wish I could extend something else. Who said that? Okay, that's gone too. Feel resistance. There's probably something else still. Maybe there's a bolt down there. I can't see. The sun is just blinding. Maybe I'll just stick this down there and see if something turns. Look at that. Genius. Oh, lost that one too. Sweet. Oh, this is all on one unit. Intriguing. See, I didn't know that. Now I do. I'm basically a BMW technician at this point. Clips. I'm gonna try my hardest to break these because BMW plastic is so fantastic. Sweet. I think this just slides out. There's a little clip. What is that? There's a clip here on the back. Appears. You just pop that up. Boom. Slide this out. I don't know what that is. Ah, the headlight has come apart. Very interesting, because I'm pretty sure I just replaced this. Oh no, there's a, interesting. I did replace this bulb, but previous owner left me a little surprise inside the headlight. Fantastic. I'm gonna clean this up before I put it back. These are gonna get replaced with Euro ones eventually anyway, but for now, I don't have those. Got the piece all cleaned up, kind of, not really. Again, they're getting replaced, whatever. Leaving this on so I don't scratch it. We're gonna get our bulb put back in here. Line the dowel pins back up. Boom, there we go. I think this is a little far out. We can probably get that going back in some. I'm gonna get the bolts put back in, get this thing kind of adjusted. It's gonna take me a second, so we'll get it adjusted and come back. Okay. Just like that, I got it all screwed in and adjusted. Brand new. Rinse and repeat on this side. Quality. I'm not even gonna bother cleaning this one, so clapped. Not even OEM. I don't even know what. It looks like something did burnout on it. Not sure what the deal with that is. satisfying at all. Stuck in the silicone. That's so dumb. As you can see, I already went ahead and pulled off the front plastics and washed the car. Reason for that, I'm gonna go ahead and sand the front splitter, throw some paint on it. Again, something temporary just to make it look better, because I noticed how much of an eyesore it was after putting in the fresh headlights. And then I took off all the front trim. I got some ceramic coating. We're gonna go ahead and put on that and get that little rust stain off of it. And so those will actually look pretty much brand new. The splitter is just gonna look marginally better. But before we do all that, we got some brand new wiper blades, because after sitting for 13 years, these ones are toast. They don't do that very well. So we're gonna go ahead and take these off, even though I don't know how they come off. Should be pretty simple. Boom. Just like that, as suspected. Get out of here. I guess we'll put on this side first. Just like that. They're on. Next side. These ones are pretty easy. In fact, oh, it's broken now. Not that it matters. Yeet. Everything on this car so far has been super easy. Everybody complains about how bad, especially my brother. If you ask my brother, he loves to complain about how bad BMWs are to work on, how bad the reliability is, and this and that. Here's the deal. I put a fuel pump in this car, new tires, a new battery, and I changed the oil, and I topped off the coolant. I just put some recharge in the AC. The AC actually works in this car. I've been driving it for over 1,000 miles with no issues. It's got its quirks and things that need to be fixed and replaced, but I haven't broken down. Heck, the only thing is leaking is power steering fluid, and that's strictly because the previous owner put way too big of a hose clamp on the bottom of the power steering reservoir, like drain line, and it's just leaking because it's squeezed improperly and it's creating a weird gap. He did the same thing up at the radiator. It was leaking coolant because he put way too big of a hose clamp on it. I put a smaller hose clamp on it, problem fixed. I'm standing in an ant bed. But now that's done, let's throw some water on the windshield and see if they work worth a dang. And if y'all don't already have some of this Armor All ceramic soap wash, get some. Look at the windshield. It's just beating off. Wait. Pause. Beating off. Interesting. Alright, let's see what it does. Oh! I won my shoe! But it works freaking great though. Look at that. Windshield's drier than a mug. I don't know if I've ever had blades work that good. Let's go ahead and move on to working on that splitter and all that trim. And then after that, I think we're gonna try to work on the brakes this evening. So it could get dark in this episode, even though it already is getting darker, which I'm okay with because it's not 8,000 degrees out here now. Alright, I got two different methods I'm going to try to get this rust spot off. As you can see, don't know what it's from. Probably something off the bumper was off the car when we found it, if you remember, and it was up against the wall. So I'm sure it is possible it was just leaning against something metal and it just rusted on it. I know it'll come off, it's just a matter of how aggressive do we have to be. So I'm going to try the least aggressive step first, which is just using some isopropyl alcohol on this paper towel and seeing if that does anything. If that doesn't work, I have a light Scotch-Brite pad, which shouldn't do any damage to it, and it's already faded, so it's not like we're wearing anything off. Which I think we're going to have to jump to that step, so it's not doing anything notable anyway. Better. I don't know exactly how to get this 100% off. I don't want to bear down super hard on this plastic. It's definitely a lot better. It is not perfect by any imagination. It's going to start looking like that once we put that ceramic on it. I'm going to work on this a little more and clean up the rest of these. I'm going to sand the splitter as well, and we'll let everything sit for a minute. We'll probably go ahead and get the car jacked up and ready to do the brakes, and by that time this stuff will probably be dry enough to go ahead and slap back on the car. Alright, I kind of have this sanded. Again, this thing is chewed up beyond belief, as you can see, and it's just, I don't know if I'm going to have to get a new one I probably can salvage this one with some Bondo and stuff like that, which I might do depending on how much a new one costs. I'm just gonna blast it with some black, some flat black, and it's gonna look a lot better. And if you get close, it's not going to look perfect, but that's okay, because as it may have been obvious, slightly evident even, the rest of the car is not perfect. Really, I just let one rip as the neighbor walks outside. This is the only proper method. If you're not using Rock Auto boxes to sit your stuff on and paint it, you're just not painting correctly. This is Rust Reformer. It's made for rusty metal. I can see this adhering perfectly to this plastic. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Rust-Oleum pretty much puts all the same stuff in all their cans anyway, because it smells exactly the same. That's gonna look a little bit better. We'll come back in about 3 seconds when that's dry. About 3 seconds later, it's dry. Now we can lay it on a little thicker, even though it's spray paint. So the logistics of doing this properly pretty much go out the window. All this, well, if the wind could stop for about 45 milliseconds, it'd be extremely helpful. We'll let that dry. I'll do one more coat off camera. Let's go ahead and get started on the trim. This is what I'll be using today to ceramic coat the trim on the BMW. It's a Cerakote trim coat. I've used this stuff on the wiper cowl and on a few other things on the Mustang, and it's brought it back flawlessly. If I can find the pictures, I'll throw some up on screen. Now you'll want to wear some gloves while doing this for 2 reasons. Number 1, this stuff can irritate your skin, and number 2, most importantly, honestly, in my opinion, you don't want to get your hand oils all over the plastics while you're trying to put this on, because then it's not going to seat properly and you'll actually be able to see it after the fact. Don't ask me how I know. Here, I went ahead and actually just pulled off the trim off the back bumper as well. Might as well, it takes 2 seconds. And I cleaned it all up, and I went ahead and wiped everything down with isopropyl alcohol. Now, the only process is literally to wipe this on. If there's too much excess for whatever reason, wipe it off. But for the most part, this goes on pretty smoothly. You just wipe it on, do it as fast as you can, because these things like to dry out. So for that reason, I'm gonna stop talking and get to it. So this is kind of what it looks like when it goes on. I'm gonna get all the cracks and stuff too, obviously. And this is a more porous plastic, so just make sure it soaks in everywhere. You literally just wipe it, keep moving on. Now I got some white paint on this from when I did that taillight repair, because evidently I wasn't paying enough attention when I did that and should have masked off the area more. Simple as that. And that'll pretty much stay looking like that. That's not gonna change too much. There's no need for a second coat. If you got a lot of trim pieces that you're trying to get covered, move quickly. Go ahead and try to touch your coated areas the least amount possible. If you're wearing gloves, it's not as big of a deal, but I'd like to just hold the edges here, because if something does get messed up, it's way less noticeable on the edge than if you were to touch the face of it. BMW front end. So you can already see this thing is not spreading as nicely as it was a minute ago. It's already starting to dry up some. Not a super good way to get in between all these letters and just kind of go for it. Get all up in those cracks. You can bunch it up a little. As you can see, the rust is pretty much mostly gone off of this piece here. I was able to accomplish that by spraying some purple power on it and just going to town with a light Scotch-Brite pad on it. And it was able to come mostly back around to pretty much unnoticeable now, especially after being coated. Just like that. Another piece down. This piece is a little damaged. I guess it got taken off wrong on the front bumper, which is a little unfortunate. As you can see, crease running it here. A little discolored now, even after coating the trim, so that is a little unfortunate. It's also pretty scuffed up here on the edge, so maybe bumped into something. And another piece down. Let's move on to this small piece here. Whoa, careful now. Now this stuff, did the Mustang one maybe about 1.5 years ago at this point, and it is just now starting to show signs of being faded again. So it doesn't last forever, but with how easy and quick it is to do, I'm trying to drop this one. If it lasts 1.5 years, sitting outside in the sun all day, every day in the elements, I think I can live with that. Last piece, and then if I have some residual, I'm gonna try to get some in these grill vents, even though I think I'm gonna go ahead and just order some new chrome grills. Might give it a shot. Maybe. Good lord. But if they're getting replaced, maybe it doesn't super matter anyway. super matter. That sounds like it's out of the multiverse. Sometimes I say stuff that is most definitely not English. Just like that, we're done. Get a little on these. I think I'm just gonna end up making them look worse. Might just end up with one decent looking grill and one terrible looking grill at this point. Maybe I won't even get through this grill. Now, if your car is good paint, probably shouldn't be putting your hand on it like I'm doing right now. But my car doesn't. It looks a good bit better. And yes, just like every other BMW in existence, these grills are broken. They're held in with zip ties right now. I just need a little bit more. Maybe I'll find something else to trim coat. That way I can finish that, because now it looks halfway terrible. I went ahead and finished up the grill. I just decided I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the door handles and the trim. Ideally, you want to tape off your paint for this if you care about your car. I'm just edging it right now. What did I say? The trim, I mean. I'm edging the... That sounds worse. Donezo. Next side. And now I can work with my right hand. Freaking lint all over this. And if you have lint or anything in it, it's just going to permanently get stuck in it. Well, maybe not permanently, but it'll get stuck in it for a long time if you go ahead and put this stuff over it. This car shakes so much when you accidentally bump it the wrong direction. It's kind of borderline funny. And that's really all there is to it. Just like that, we're coated. Let's just quickly put this back together before it gets dark. That already looks so much better. Now let's go ahead and get this splitter put back on. And I'm gonna put this rear trim on off camera. It's stuck, of course. And I just stepped on all my freaking trim. And just like that, we are finally all put back together. That's our zip tie. Right in there. Headlights are looking good. I'll wait for it to get a little darker. I'm gonna go out and drive the car, make sure they're angled correctly and working good. As of right now, this turned out a lot better today than I was expecting it to. I'm gonna get a blank plate for that, and then I have 3D printers, so I might 3D print the funnel plate for that. The funnel air up to the intake, paint both of those white, of course, match the car, replace those side markers with clear ones, and then obviously I will still replace these grills with new ones. And honestly, front end will be relatively complete, but for a fun car to get around in, this looks plenty good. And especially if you go a few feet away in the daylight, it actually looks really nice.